afternoon and welcome to my channel. So what am I doing today? I'm gonna go camping again. This time a little bit closer to home because I'm working within the travel restrictions that we have here in BC. So I thought I'd go to a campground that I haven't been to since probably the early 1990s. So when my kids were young, me and my wife used to come here because it was very close to home, but it was a way that we could get out camping. So I'm going to go to Ross Lake Campground. So I checked online and it looks like it's open. They have some reservations available, but I didn't make a reservation. We'll just go see what we can find. So here we go on the gravel already. I can't remember what this road is like. It's been so long since I've been on it. So on the Google Maps, it was telling me from Highway 1 it's about 60 kilometers to get to the campground. But then it says it's like 2 hours and 15 minutes to get there. So I was guessing that the road might not be in the best condition. So we'll just take our time. We'll deal with whatever's in front of us. And hopefully they got some firewood at that campground. Well, I just passed the grader, which is nice because you know it's going to be a little bit smoother. But the only thing when they fresh grade it, it's pretty soft until it gets a few tire tracks on it. So no need to race, I'll just take my time. Beautiful day for a ride in the middle of May, and it's about 21 degrees in early afternoon. I think we're about 15 kilometers into the road here now. And it's just gorgeous country. It follows the river. And there's a number of pullouts where people just bush camp around here, which is awesome too. The one thing about being on a bike in Skagit Valley, and why I like going to the campground, because this is bear country here. And there's not much protection when you're just in a tent and on the bike. So we just entered Skagit Valley Provincial Park. Well, I'm about halfway down the road now, and I'm still running into graded sections, so some areas haven't been done and you can get a little bit more speed. But then all of a sudden you run into a section, so they must be just grading the washboards. So you gotta watch out here with these single lane bridges because they got raised sections for the tire track. But it's almost like you have to ride the lines because if you go in the middle on two wheels, hold on. I'm about 2/3 the way down the road right now. So just take your time. I just don't want to shoot a rock up into the belt. So it might take a little bit longer, but that's okay. So I got about 7 more kilometers to go, but I figured I'd pull over for a bit by this creek. It's just a beautiful area. And bike's getting a little hot on the legs from all the slow riding. So let's do a little bit of a selfie here. And I'm not sure if this way will turn out. Well, we're 57 kilometers into the road here on a 60-kilometer ride, and it's gotten a lot worse. It's gotten back to potholes and it's wet. But there's no turning back now when you got just 3 more to go. So it's just a little slower. Well, as you can see by the map on the bike, we're just about to Ross Lake. And that black line right before Ross Lake, that's the Canada-US border. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about Ross Lake once we get there. Oh, look at the mountains. Just gorgeous views way in here. Well, here we are, Ross Lake Campground. So here's a paper map of BC, and I'm going to be using this year to track all the trips that I end up taking. So I haven't used it yet in my videos, but this one down here, that's the one that I did for the South Vancouver Island Loop. And then this is the one that I took up to Boston Bar. So the one we did today is I started right here in White Rock, and I came down the same old road, the Highway 1 to get out. But this time what I did is I followed this road right down here, all the way into Skagit Valley, and this is where I am, right at the end. So where that is actually on the border, Canada-USA, and Ross Lake is right there. So Ross Lake was it's actually a reservoir that was formed from Ross Dam, which was built between 1937 and 1949. It was built in 3 stages. So the lake and the dam are named after James Ross, who turned out to be the superintendent for Seattle Light, I think it was called, that built the dam. Originally it was called Ruby Dam. So this lake is actually about 37 kilometers long and about 2.5 kilometers wide at points. And it's fed by the Skagit River. So this dam, like I said, was built in 3 stages, and there was going to be a 4th stage to go higher, but it would have backed up the lake well into Canada. So there was actually an agreement made in 1984 where British Columbia would supply the power differential on what the 4th stage would have delivered to Seattle Light and Power for the next 80 years. So they won't build stage 4 for 80 years as long as BC keeps supplying the power differential between stage 3 and stage 4. So for now, that's as far as it's going to get. It's gorgeous country around here. And that's Ross Lake ahead of us, but it's real low right now because I heard they're doing some maintenance on the power dam. But during high water, it'll come right up to here where all the stumps are. Well, that cloud in the sky finally passed, and it's absolutely a gorgeous evening here tonight. So after a long day at work, oh, I wish I could have done this kind of work forever. You can't beat it, so cheers. Well, you gotta love it when that's your view at the end of the day, the end of a work day. So tomorrow morning, I'm gonna do a hike to the international border there, like on the road. And usually in the morning, that's when wildlife is out around this area. So I'm going to continue this video tomorrow morning, and you can follow me on that little bit of a hike and we'll see what we can see. Anyhow, we'll see you tomorrow morning. Well, good morning, and I'm here, early morning walk. Well, I went about as far as I could, and here's where the border is. So this would be the United States right here at the fence. I don't know what border crossing this is called, but it's not really what I'm used to for crossing the border. So there's the cut line for the border between the two countries. And that white pillar, that's the surveyed 49th parallel, the border. And we'll look the other direction here because this is the boundary. And again, I don't know if it'll show up on the GoPro because it's far away, but you can see the cut line on the other side of where the lake normally is. Well, hopefully you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you on the next video.